OA community, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Robert Linkle, trainingtheolderadult.com. We are answering questions from people that have asked questions on our YouTube channel. And this one comes from the deep dive, the sit to stand, increased quality of life for older adults doing this on the regular. The question all the way at the bottom from Rod Fisher says, "Hi Robert, how would you compare sit to stands to belt squats? With belt squats, you can probably lift more weight. In your opinion, which gives the greater benefit, sit to stands or belt squats?" Awesome question, Rod, number one, and thank you for being so active. You've asked lots of questions. We've seen quite a lot from you on our social media as well and here, so thank you. We love that. I love the interaction. And really good question. I see them as two very similar lifts, but also two different lifts for me. One is axial loading and one is not, or it greatly minimizes my axial load. So I will basically look at them slightly different, as in my sit to stand, even though I'm not deadlifting, in my personal programming, that is going to activate or check the box for my hinge or my deadlift pull for that workout. Where if I were belt squatting, that would check the box for my squat. Now, for me in our programming, like when I'm going piece by piece and I'm getting everything, all I need is a hinge, something where I break at the hip. And to me, you could bridge, that would be like a level 1 hinge. You could do RDLs or rack pulls or swings, and that would be a number 2 hinge. And then you could hinge with a bent knee, which would be any kind of squat, sit to stand, deadlift, etc. So it would go from horizontal bridging on the floor, vertical hinging, and then bending your knees, and that would kind of progress. So any of those sliding scale up and down, they're all hinges for me across the board. I would just look at that and go, I'm not comparing necessarily the belt squat to the sit to stand as this is the same movement pattern. Which one do I like better or which one not? I'm gonna look at it as my axial loading for today. I want to be able to take that to a certain level. For me personally, it's about 100 to 110, maybe 115 pounds. And after that, I start to have negative returns. My body starts to hurt from it because it's too much axial pressure pushing down. I'm holding that weight, so my spine is engaged in holding that load. Because I want to be able to tax that, right? Every other week, I want to be able to tax that. But I do it with a controlled sit down, unload, re-engage, stand up, so I don't hurt myself at the bottom. The sit to stand component gives me an opportunity to reset my posture and my mechanics every time. So I'm making that as safe as I can because I'm taking personally the most risk in doing that axial loading lift. But I know that I need to do some axial loading. Anything heavier than that, I'm probably going to hurt myself or at least aggravate my sciatic symptoms, my ruptured disc, etc. So then the next workout that I do that's going to target the same movement, I'm going to belt load, but I'm going to belt load a hell of a lot heavier than that. I could do 200-300 pounds around the belt, knowing that I don't have axial pressure, and I can really challenge my glutes and my hips, my quads, my hips, my glutes, my quads, by working that heavier load, but I don't have the risk of my axial vertical compound or compressing axial load on me to worry me. I will do that via the flywheel. That's how I'm able to get that amount of weight. I had a client ask today, how do you get 200 pounds on your belt when you belt squat? And I said, I've got two 72-pound kettlebells that I put tandem, one in front and behind the other one. So those kind of dangle, which look a little funny, but I've got 145 pounds there. And then I hold 60. So I'm now, I know I can take about 100 in my hands. So I hold 60 and then I belt squat. I kind of combine the two, but the belt then bottoms out. I do it where I can unload it at the bottom and then return up at the top. Or I use my flywheel and I know that those are getting me hundreds of pounds of pressure at the bottom for me to change direction with. So just a couple of different strategies, a couple of different techniques. Even though you're training the same triple flexion, triple extension, it is being loaded in different ways. So kind of keep that in mind. How much axial pressure do I want? And then the other one, how much with non-axial pressure can I lift and work on that driving force at the bottom? I think you should have some very good and safe success doing those lifts by following those protocols. Any other comments, questions, hit me up down below. If not, continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.